This is adeptus.noobus, and after a little hiatus I bring you another 1v1. Here on Greentooth Gorge the players are Boss playing the Tech Marine. Ranged utility hero can be upgraded to some melee weaponry, or with some melee weaponry, but is mainly a ranged hero. Supports with turrets and beacons and has a plasma gun, is awesome warrior. And on the other side we have Phoenix as my favorite race. The Eldar playing the Warlock is a very offensive oriented melee hero, can fleet, can cast doom blasts, can just cause havoc in your backline all day long. Let's look at the opening builds. Double Scouts, Tech Marines, very standard for Space Marines to play versus Eldar. I'm not sure whether they knew what they were playing. I'm just assuming they did, because Double Scouts is very strong versus Eldar. And on the other side we see triple Dire Avengers. Now this allows for a lot of early stage DPS, but I'm not so sure whether it's a good build. It certainly is gonna deter scouts or the Tech Marine very fast. And here we have the meeting of the heroes. Warlock uses fleet to close in combat and uses his leap, and there we see the special attack from the Warlock immediately. And I'm not so sure whether that's, well, it's gonna deter the Tech Marine from taking part in any of the fights, which is very important. You see a Shuriken platform now that he knows that there's a Tech Marine on the field, and the Warlock is just zoning out this Tech Marine, and he's effectively tying up Scouts and the Tech Marine here. This is very good, because now these Dire Avengers can cap, but Tactical Marines will definitely outshoot Dire Avengers out in the open, and the Warlock's being very annoying, decapping this fully matured wreck point here. Scouts not being lazy here, capping the complete left hand side, or at least trying to decap this victory point, but Boss sees that this is folly and retreats his scouts before they lose a model. Very well done. So far 2-1 cap for Phoenix here, as was to be expected. Very heavy DPS build early on. I'm surprised we don't see any Banshees. Banshees very strong versus Space Marines, obviously. Shuriken platform. Let's see how Boss will counter this. Sets up, gets tied up by Tactical Marines though. There's a little micro lapse here by Phoenix. We'll have to retreat them because Kraken rounds actually do increase damage versus the heavy infantry model that is the Shuriken platform itself. Tech Marine has a little shootout here with Dire Avengers. Dire Avengers hiding in the garrison, just being very annoying, but they will eventually lose against the Tech Marine heavy cover. There's no way they can win this, especially if Scouts join the fight. And Phoenix does lose 2 models and retreats. Sniper is obviously a very good choice versus the Shuriken platform. I'm surprised not many people actually go for snipers versus Eldar, because Eldar, now since their rangers have been changed, Space Marines will actually win sniper fights with Eldar, and the sniper rifles are obviously going to be extremely effective at bleeding these Dire Avenger models. Boss will have to be careful though to not get his snipers caught like this and lose models, because they will cost power to reinforce. But here you see the damage, and sniper rifles also deal increased damage versus heavy infantry. So whenever they take a shot at the Shuriken platform, which is die last, that's why it's so strong, because if you cannot target the Shuriken platform itself, you always have to target the infantry. But if the Shuriken platform itself is being shot, it will take increased damage. Warlock also very low on HP, has to retreat. Double snipers is a very effective counter to what Phoenix has right now. Phoenix though, with a little tech advantage, does have triple generators and a node here, while Boss does not, and Phoenix, as was to be expected, has the majority of the Scouts. Now that they're snipers, will actually have to take part in most of the fights because they are boss's setup counter. Considering he went for triple die Avengers Shuriken. Sorry for this little disruption. Well, I think ASMs would have been better in this instance because they synergize so much better with the heavy weapons team in case there's going to be a quick vehicle. Let's look at the VPs, 384 to 474. They are in favor of Phoenix quite heavily, which is to be expected since triple die Avengers will exert a lot of map pressure, and now that the scouts have been relegated to Guardian weapon team counter, they cannot cap the map as freely. This task now falls to the Tactical Marines. Tactical Marines will definitely win versus Dire Avengers if they meet them on any lane, but that's not really what you want to do. You actually want them to take part in fights. Warlock finds the Guardian weapon team, and look at the scouts, look at this damage immediately. It's very high, nice kinetic pulls here, forcing these scout snipers off, meaning the Guardian weapon team will be able to set up in the center again, but only for so long. Then we see the high-powered shot. High-powered shot means Mastercrafted Bolter on the Tech Marine as well, and the Artificer Armor. That's quite a lot of power spent in Tier 1 from boss. Now, we do see this node here, and since Phoenix does have excess requisition, I would have liked to see some more generators on this farm, because Tactical Marines have now been relegated to capping duty. They will not be able to bash this power farm, especially with double snipers. You don't have the DPS to bash generators quickly enough. So the Falcon could have already been in production, possibly. But yeah, so far, very convincing performance here. 2-0, 2-0 cap, 367, 434. Guardian weapon team forcing off the heavy weapons team. Let's see who fires first. It's gonna be the Guardian's weapons team. Both are suppressed, but the Guardian weapon team actually does have more health. Still retreats because the double snipers would actually kill the Guardian weapon team. The Shuriken platform. I'm gonna go with Shuriken platform. Tactical Marines. See, this is what I mean. Like, he does not have enough bashing power. Like, if there was a full farm here, oh, Phoenix would have been so far ahead. There we see a drop pod call in, another Tactical Marine squad. Yeah, that's actually quite a good idea, considering he's facing double Tactical Marines. Phoenix now already in Tier 2. Is gonna get out a Falcon soon, I guess. Boss only reaching Tier 2 now, does not have a lot of power, does not have a lot of map control. VPs are ticking against him. Warlock's constantly harassing these scouts. Let's see, he does not have war gear. Leap here. It's only a single model. It's very cost efficient here to do it this way, because you do not need to fully reinforce scout snipers since they cost power to reinforce. But only one model has this sniper rifle, so that's very cost efficient. That's very good from boss here. Tech Marine is taking a lot of damage here. Not sure what that was from. Guessing possibly the special attack from the Warlock. Tech Marine's moving, so he's losing one melee skill. Nice Doom Blast, Doom Blast actually. Doom Blast on the heavy weapons team. Heavy weapons team still on 2 models. Does not need to reinforce that as well. It's not gonna suddenly lose models just like that. And boss is taking back the center victory point, and he really needs to, because it's 291, 434 in favor of Phoenix. Tactical Marines with the Sergeant, but there is the Falcon. Of course, there's gonna be a Falcon with triple die Avenger. It's gonna be very good, and we see Sternguard veterans. Sternguard veterans are going to heavily bleed these triple die Avengers, so Phoenix might have maneuvered himself into a very tricky spot here. He's going to have, there we see the Artificer Mines. It's very good indeed, but the Artificer Mine is going to be spotted by these Rangers, so the Falcon is not going to be in any danger of driving over it. But let's see how this one works. Oh yeah, he immediately goes for the last cannon, which is obviously a good choice. It's not set up though. It needs to set up,
And he's going for another heavy weapon steed because he knows that once he upgrades to a last cannon, the Warlock is going to be free to move. He does have the high-powered shot, but there's also triple die Avengers, so he needs the suppression because the Stern Guards and the double scouts are not going to be enough. But for now, Phoenix is taking his forces to the eastern side. This is trying to. There we saw the Warlock. Let's see 2 Warlocks. Let's see if we see 3 Warlocks. I'm guessing there's some idle stuff in here. He also got Wraithguard. Phoenix, you need to move these units. Exactly, they need to take part in the fight. And now these Dire Avengers, they will most definitely have to leave. Not sure why they were knocked back here. I didn't see any grenade or something. Well, there's the Falcon. It hasn't done a lot so far, which is a shame. Very nice though, these Rangers taking potshots at the Scout Snipers. Scout Snipers do not have the same health that Tactical Marines have, so they will have to be careful. Wraithguard also a very nice counter to the last cannon, obviously. Also to the suppression team. And look at this volley, immediately taking out 2 models here. And it does have reinforcement support. It also has the Warlock, so it can move faster, look further, I think. But something went down there. Not sure what went down there. That was very weird. But the Wraithguard so far uncountered. These Stern Guards actually need to switch to their Kraken rounds because Wraithguard are heavy infantry, and there we see the Tactical Marines with the Sergeant moving in, but the Sergeant's taking so much focus fire from the Guardian weapon team and the triple die Avengers here, and went down in a flash. That is a very hefty, very hefty loss. And I heard a Dreadnought on the field now. Dreadnought's going to be awesome. I'm guessing it's going to get the Melter Gun. Melter Gun is going to be really good versus the Falcon and the Wraithguard and the Dire Avenger. It's going to be very effective against all. It's also going to be very good for chasing the Falcon. If it gets snared once, that might actually spell doom. And since Boss is the Tech Marine, he does have the blessings of the Omnissiah. But so far, these Rangers need to scout, and now they've seen the Dreadnought. Let's see if we're going to see a Bright Lance. Of course, we're going to immediately see a Bright Lance. These Wraith Guards need to fire. These Stern Guards could have taken a few models here. Stern Guards retreat with full squad size here, but look at these Wraith Guards. These Wraith Guards are taking Dreadnought fists to the face, and there we see the Bright Lance and the Falcon. Falcon actually has 3 weapons, I think. No, it actually only has 2, and the Dreadnought goes down immediately. That was very bad play here from Boss. He must have not looked at it or something. I'm not sure what happened there, but the Dreadnought just went in, tried to tie up the Bright Lance, but there was also a Falcon firing at it. That's a huge investment that he lost there. Phoenix could go tier 3 now, should do so, because a D-cannon would completely devastate this composition right now. Warlock still, there we go. Champion's Rope and the Merciless Witchblade. That is actually very nice because the Warlock is going to be a melee brawler now. It's still level 1, Tech Marine's still level 2, but the Warlock is going to be a lot more difficult to force off now. Still 2-to-1 cap for Boss, and he's gaining on VPs, or not gaining, but he's closing in the VP section. Scout Snipers, still only 1 model, getting focus. Do back off though. He's just kiting, he's just dancing around with them. Now that the Bright Lance now that the Guardian weapon team has been upgraded with the Bright Lance, I'm guessing it's not as effective anymore, but there's another Dreadnought being built. That means Boss is hard committing to tier 2 here. Scouts will have to leave. And a grenade might have been very nice here on retreat, but Phoenix chooses not to use his grenade here. Triple Die Avengers, I think, with the Exarch, actually hard counter a heavy weapons team easily. Tech Marine gonna take this victory point here, trying to prevent a triple cap here for Phoenix. Does have the double cap now. VPs are going to tick down ever so slightly in his favor. And there we see the Wraith Guard again, and deadly blast. The Dread now with the Assault Cannon. I'm not sure about the Assault Cannon. It's going to be very effective against the Dire Avengers. Shield taking most of the damage because it mitigates 100% of the damage that it takes, or the unit would take. And there we see the effect from damage over time from the Hellfire rounds. These Stern Guards now switching to the, what are they called? Vengeance rounds. Vengeance rounds also effective versus heavy infantry, but he's definitely needs. Wow, these Stern Guards got shot to pieces. Lost 2 models here. Phoenix still not going tier 3. He is heavily floating. He is going for an Autarch now. I'm not so sure about this Autarch. At this point, a Fire Prism would have been devastating here. The Autarch is gonna be very nice. Wow. And they shall know no fear on these tactical Marines. Will definitely force off the Autarch here, especially with the help of the Assault Cannon Dreadnought. Warlock's gonna take back this victory point. I think Phoenix should have concentrated more on trying to actually kill boss's stuff, because it's very low health. I mean, one warp throw into Phoenix's army might actually spell doom, for example, for this last cannon, and now that he has upgraded them with the advanced the other heavy weapons team with the advanced targeting, there would be no last cannon for this one, and the Falcon would have much more free reign because it cannot get snared anymore. It will take increased damage from the Vengeance rounds, but still, there's a huge difference between taking last cannon shots. And now we see everything coming to bear here. The Warlock's being very annoying here, just keeping the Tech Marine at bay, constantly knocking him back. Merciless Witchblade does have a chance to knock back on hit. And now we see the Champion's Robe being activated, the leap into combat, and there's the Autarch jumping in, and it's gonna take out this last cannon. It's very nice. Might actually kill it. Let's see. One more hit maybe. Nope, no more hit. But it can also, the Autarch can also leap into combat, knocks back special attack, another knockback from, wow, and another knockback, and there's the special from the Warlock. Wow, this Tech Marine is in dire straits, another knockback. They are turning out to be quite the deadly duo here, the Warlock. Melee attack on the Warlock though, and it goes down. Very nice. That's a second Dreadnought for boss here. Very nice. We might, oh, and it's gonna get the Melter Gun. That is very nice, because the Melter Gun's absolutely destroyed these Wraith Guard now. Because it can now chase. There's no kiting away from the Dreadnoughts. Double Dreadnoughts. Wow, these Wraith Guard need to go. Dreadnought's taking a lot of damage here, but this Melter Gun is gonna be too much for the Falcon, the Wraith Guard, and the Bright Lance to handle. Look at the damage. I mean, the Dreadnoughts are taking a lot of damage. We see the Blessings of the Omnissiah being activated, but still, this little push here gave boss back at the map control over the center, and Phoenix is still not tier 3. He is floating 330 power here. That is not good. That is not good.
Understood.
I'm guessing he's debating right now with himself what he should do. What he should have done is go tier 3 and get a Fire Prism. A Fire Prism would absolutely devastate this composition, because the Fire Prism can just kite for millennia and constantly take shots at the Dreadnought. Combine that potentially with Warp Spiders, which would also be really, really good for map control. That could lead to a dead Dreadnought. Phoenix trying to take back some map control. He has held the majority of the requisition points so far. Rangers can give sight to the Bright Lance now, and there we go. Bright Lance taking shots at the Dreadnought. see. I think it deals like 90 damage per shot, and it has a very high rate of fire. It does not snare, but it's very, very powerful indeed. There we go. See, constantly taking shots. There we go. Another 90 and another 90. I think one more. Nope. The Artak is gonna find this last cannon team. What was that? Is that a mine? Yeah, these rangers need to be closer to the ranged army here, and they actually need to go for the cap. But there's an assault cannon dreadnought. I'm guessing Champion's Rope is gonna get activated soon. There we see it, Champion's Rope being activated. Vengeance round Devastators though annihilating the Champion's Rope here. And what is... oh, there's gonna be a volley from the Wraith Guard on this heavy weapons team. One more shot and it's gone. Very nice takeout. And boss is on 151. Wow, what was that? That was an attempt at kinetic pulse into grenade. He's gonna lose these Dire Avengers. Certainly, the Sergeant of Space Marines is no slouch in melee combat, and he's taken out these Dire Avengers here. Falcon in the back line here. Stern Guts are gonna swap to their I keep forgetting their name. Their Vengeance rounds, damaging the Falcon significantly. And Boss is also committing to this tier 2 he has going here for himself. So far the cap is 1-1. Maybe he gets him off the cap just a split second before the Tech Marine could cap. That is so annoying, and he's constantly sapping away the energy here from the Tech Marines. Refractor field has been purchased by the Tech Marine. Artak is gonna upgrade to her Executioner Spear. Executioner Spear is gonna deal increased power melee damage. It's gonna be so much. Boss realizes this, does not want to lose a model. Artak is gonna be a very, very fearsome capping unit right now, but still, these double dreadnoughts, they are not being dealt with. They are not being dealt with. The Artak can only go for the decap and will have to jump away or just run away. Yeah, will have to run away. Would have kept her on the field. Scout's gonna go for the decap here. It's gonna be very, very annoying. And we see the Brightlands again. They might have spotted the Tech Marine trying to put down some artificer mines, cancel the mine. And there we see the Dreadnought with the Militagun. Very, very strange to see a shuriken platform on the shoulder of the Wraith Lord here. I would have thought it would be another Brightlands. Brightlands would be excellent in this case. Where is the last cannon here from Boss? He needs that last cannon. Last cannon was capping. Needs to join this fight, but now the Wraith Guard have returned. Wraith Guard will easily deal with this last cannon. Wraith Guard needs to push forward. He needs to maybe even get another Wraith Lord. Like, he needs to be very aggressive with this dominant army that Phoenix has. This Falcon also needs to be more aggressive, constantly pushing back Boss here into his half of the map, or even his quarter of the map only, because Phoenix does have the potential to take more map control. There we see the Merciless Witchblade again being extremely annoying. Will have the 2-1 cap again. These Dire Avengers going to guard this victory point from now on, because the Scouts have been very annoying, constantly backcapping. And we finally see the move to tier 3.
Enemy contact. They have us targeted.
Dreadnought inching forward. These Rangers can't lose a model here, but constantly giving sight to the Brightlands is very important. This is how you play them. And you also have the Wraith Guard. Wraith Guard have been relegated to a Spearhead unit. Wraith Guard are very, very tanky. They have already 2,827 HP. Will take a lot of damage here still from the plasma gun. but still, that is a very, very important push. And then we see the warp throw. Finally, we see the warp throw. We do see a missile launcher here on the Tactical Marines level 3, but this is a very decisive push here. The Dreadnought is gonna go down, tied up by the Wraith Lord. We see Assault Cannon Barrage. These Tactical Marines will have to go. Wraith Guard are taking shots at the Dreadnought, and there's the conceit from Boss. He tried in a final desperate attempt to push off Phoenix here, but Phoenix just had the better army. Could have won this earlier. Wow, this assault cannon is very loud. Could have won this earlier, but through careful play, he just choked out Boss from map control and from gaining any map control. He had the superior army. He had the Falcon, the Die Avengers here and here. He had the Bright Lance. He had the Rangers. Rangers did a perfect job of constantly giving sight to the Bright Lance, which meant that the 2 Dreadnoughts, keep in mind, 2 Dreadnoughts, the Space Marine unit that is one of the hardest to kill unit for Eldar, have not been effective at all in this matchup. Or in the hands of Boss, I'd rather say, because Dreadnoughts usually highly, highly effective. Would have been a lot better if Boss actually had Assault Space Marines. The Tech Marine is not known for his synergy with Assault Space Marines, but considering the Warlock had no war gear, we saw triple Die Avengers with Shuriken platform and Rangers on top of that. Assault Space Marines would have been so good, especially at hunting down the Falcon, which was some great AV supplement. The first Dreadnought went down in seconds, like in the first engagement it took part in, it went down immediately. So the Falcon, it did pay off. It's still level 1 though, but it really did pay off. Yeah, it was not a very standard build order from both players, considering their respective races, but it was a very, very entertaining match. I hope you thought so too. Leave a like or a comment. If you completely disagree with my analysis of this game, you can also comment, tell me how full of shit I am. Whatever you're thinking, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to this channel to see some more 1v1s, and see you next time.